Hey, I am painting some jewelry charms today. Just finished putting gesso on. Gonna get this back in the jar. So, I have some that I started on one of my last streams. And then I've got some little coffins to do today, and a little skull I kind of want to do something fun with. And then, depending on how much time is left, I got some of these little dudes that need to be painted. And I might do one of my babies. It's all just painting day. Might go into the baby drawer. Doesn't everybody have a baby drawer? So I'm gonna do. I have some that are have embedded glitter, so I'm gonna be doing those last because it contaminates the water and then everything gets glitter on it. And that's not good when you're trying to paint for a few hours to have your water get contaminated. Alright, so let's see, I'm trying to decide what color I want to do first because I've got roughly half my paint drawer on my table today. So yeah, the skull it's based on these little dudes I do. I call them blockheads. And the light's kind of washing this guy out, but that's the style of the skull. And I made up just one of these as sort of a prototype. And then this is the other design, and I want to see which one people like better to try and make my little signature skull as jewelry pieces. So, oh, and I also have a couple of little noses for 0 plush dogs that need faces painted on them. So I got a good selection just to make sure that I'm not going to be finished with hours to go. I think I'm going to do, although I do have a lot of purple, I'm going to do orange first. Yeah, I have both of these oranges and I can't remember which one I like and which one I don't like. I didn't remember to get rid of the one I don't like, so I'm gonna have to try both of these and figure out which is the good one and which is the one that needs to go in the donation bin. I keep them in the same order so I can tell which is which. Yeah, I think I like the little ones better too, but this one I can kind of paint designs on, and I can't do that with the little one, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Grab one of these little duders, and these are just made out of paper clay, so I had to gesso them because paper clay will swallow all of your paint very quickly. Okay, I think this might be the one that I like because it's coming out really bright and vibrant. But I don't know. There was one orange that I really liked and one that I didn't care for, and I didn't get rid of the one I don't like. So, oops, I have to get better at not putting my hands in the way. I'm trying to learn. So I'm going to do one, let go of me. One with the first orange. Probably going to have to change my water at some point anyway, because I've got about 1 million different colors out here. Alright, Do this one with the other orange. There we go. Now my hand's not in the way. Although this one's coming out fine too. Maybe they're both okay. Maybe they just needed gesso. It might have been how it dried, so I don't know. And I had to go and put texturing on this, and now that makes it harder to paint. Yeah, it's taking some getting used to, but it's the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm getting with it, and I think it's probably going to help me to be on more of a set schedule, because without the streaming, I don't really have a reason to do things at a specific time of the day, and it gets really easy to let my work just kind of all bleed into my day, and I forget to do things like eat and take care of myself. Oh, this won't come out of the brush. That might be the one I didn't like. My brush is not wanting to rinse clean now. They look pretty similar though. I don't know. I can't really tell a difference by looking at them right now. I guess we'll see. I'll let them dry. And I want to put some white on the skull. Well, those are drying. And I want to do it in this little, I have it in a little jar, but this is actually one of the Stuart Semple colors. I don't know if you know who he is. He's the guy who made the Blackest Black paint, and last year he did a beta test that you could sign up for a new Whitest White paint that they're working on. And one of the ones that they sent, this one, is UV reactive, so it glows under UV light. So I'm going to paint it with this one and then paint a design in non-reactive paint and see if I can get sort of like a sugar skull kind of a design on it that'll show up when it glows. Get this little body out of the way. I have one little body left to paint too. I did some little Petite Blythe alien dolls recently, and the only one I didn't finish is the one that I decided to keep for myself. I kind of deprioritized her, so she's still waiting for her body to be painted. I just kind of have that off to the side in case I get to that paint today. And I like this paint a lot because it glows, but it's unfortunately the thing that makes it glow also makes it a little harder to work with. It's a little chunky and it dries real quick, so it has a tendency to pull itself off of your piece as you're working if you're not careful. So you gotta keep your brush good and wet, otherwise you pull your paint off as you're painting. I think I didn't have it wet enough at first because it was starting to take the paint off, but it looks like it's working better now. This is an awkward area to light, but the light overhead, the overhead light burned out yesterday and I haven't replaced it yet. So I just have a ring light going, which with the white is washing everything out. but hopefully the colors are showing up okay. I'm going to take one of my little brushes to get in the little nose. One little spot that I gotta get here. Okay. Alright, that's the first layer on. Yeah, I'm not really good at functioning without a schedule, but I haven't had one for years. So I'm trying something new with this. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the difference in these yet. There's not really a lot of difference showing up, so I feel like this one is a little more vibrant than the other one. So I'm gonna stick with that one. And do one more coat and then flip them over and do the backs. Get in that little area. Yeah, I'm on, I get SSI. It's not full disability, but it is essentially disability. I have a lot of health issues, so I can't really do a traditional job, so I'm home. And I'm very high risk, so I haven't been able to go out at all during the whole, pandemic times. So it sort of got me thinking that with all these other people working from home and not managing to turn into, attention deficit disorder messes, maybe I should try and do what they do and get myself on at least somewhat of a schedule and see if that helps me function better. Even if it is just a couple of days a week. But it's also helping me be more efficient because I have to get everything I need right here where I can grab it, so I'm not running all over my house looking for things, which definitely eats into your work time if you're not good about keeping things handy. I don't know. There's a spot on here, but it's not a color I was painting with. Oh, there we go. It was just fuzz. Just some lint floating around the house. I see one little spot here I want to fix. Yeah, this paint, because it's UV reactive, I think I said that, whatever is in it that makes it glow makes it a little thicker. So if there's little spaces that are not even, then every time you build up a layer it just gets less and less even. So I'm going to go through and hit all the little places that need an extra layer on them before I do layer number 2. Oh, I think it's probably good now. I'm going to use a different brush because I feel like with the white I really want to make sure that the water is staying in there. I think this brush holds water a little better. Yeah, I got my first vaccine at the end of last month. I am scheduled for the next one on the 21st. I'm actually really excited. It's gonna be so nice. Like, I had a friend come over and we hung out outside for, you know, half an hour today before I started streaming, and that was some of the first human contact I've had in literally months. I don't see anybody anymore except, you know, my mom who I live with. I see nobody. I don't go anywhere. So I'm really, even as an introvert, really looking forward to human contact again. It's gonna be really nice. Well, hi, I got another viewer. How's it going? Just painting today. Oops, I'm not on the camera, am I? My camera also has this little spot on it. I tried cleaning the lens, and I think it's actually a fault with the camera because it wouldn't come off. So I may have to, it's not old. I may have to send a message to the company I bought the camera from and see if I can get a replacement. Because I've only had it, I don't know, not even 6 months. I want to say I bought it around Christmas. No, I think I bought it on Black Friday. So yeah, maybe it's about 6 months at this point. But yeah, it's not old, and it's already got, I mean, you can see the little spot there. It's not on the lens, so I don't know what's going on with that. But it was a really cheap camera. I just bought it because the camera on my old laptop was not good, and I was doing a lot of Zoom calls because I had no other human contact and I wanted a good camera. So I think I might, I don't know if they're gonna do anything to replace, you know, a $15 camera. I might have to get a new one. Okay, I want to do the other side of this white. I have orange on my fingers. Anybody watching who doesn't paint is probably like, what is she doing? I have a rag so I don't get color contamination. There is a reason for it. Especially when you're working with really white paint, because this is very white. You don't want any color contamination. It'll be very obvious. So I always keep a rag there. And part of the problem with this not going on super evenly is that it's just cheap air dry clay, because this is also something that's pretty new to me, and I just bought, you know, what was on sale to see if I liked it. And of course it's not something that's super easy to work with because it's cheap. So it's not really even, and I tried to sand it because you're supposed to be able to sand air dry clay, but it's a little soft. And I think that's just this particular brand. I don't think that's all air dry clay, so I'll probably buy a different kind next time. I do have a couple in my little stack that I made with epoxy, and I think I like that better, but it's kind of hard to do really small things with because it's really sticky, which I know is one of the selling points because it does work. It does work better for some things because of the fact that it's sticky. Like, it's a lot better for when I want to sculpt pieces onto doll heads. It sticks a lot better than the air dry clay, so it works better for that. Like, I have for Mermaid last year, I don't know if you follow the Instagram art challenges, but that was one of them last year, was mermaid, and everybody drew mermaids, and I wanted to make a sort of non-traditional mermaid, so I made a baby with octopus tentacles, and I made those out of epoxy sculpt. It ended up being probably one of the most expensive to make, and it's not done yet because I've used most of my jar of epoxy on the tentacles. But it does work better than anything else. Like, they're not coming off. I haven't put away, so I can't really go grab them, but I can pull a picture up on my phone. If I can get to it. My arts folder is a little full. Where is he? A little farther back than this. Oh, also, these are some of my little Cupid babies that I did. I sculpted those with epoxy too, because it sticks so much better. It works a little better to do doll pieces with because it doesn't, you don't have to worry about it peeling off. Here's the octopus baby. So that's about as I've gotten a little farther since then, but I basically just need to finish bulking up the tentacles so they're not all spindly, and then put little suckers on them, and then I can start painting that one. But that's one that I would not have been able to do with the air dry clay because it doesn't really stick. So you pretty much have to sculpt it and then expect that at some point it's going to peel off and you're going to have to re-glue it, and then it'll hold. It's just an extra step that I didn't really want to take with a project that big. So I'm going to be working on that doll on stream at some point because I think that would be a really fun thing to do with the epoxy. And it'll force me not to be fiddling with my settings and stuff while I'm filming because, you know, my epoxy hands, I don't want to touch anything. I'm doing better. I haven't been fiddling with stuff today. On some of my previous streams, I had friends note that I fiddled with my settings a little too much, so I need to pay more attention to what I'm doing and just talk to people and not worry about what Twitch is doing off screen. I need to just trust that it's doing its thing. Alright, so I think this is looking good on both sides. So I'm going to put a brush on sealant on it really quick. And then I'm going to try sketching a design on with my watercolor pencils. Oh, I got white on me. Uh-oh. Oh well. Alright. I need to get a better brush on sealant. I don't like that this one, every time I open it, makes a big mess. Probably need to put it in one of these little pots instead. Let that sit. Do the other side in a second. One last coat on the oranges. Okay. Get this side. Okay, I'll let that dry for a minute. It's like glue. Yuck. Put these ones aside because they're just waiting to be sealed. Okay. So I still have these ones to do, and I got a whole bunch of colors. I don't think I've done a red one yet, so I have a selection of reds. So this one's like a fire engine red here. This is one of my custom blended ones. I haven't used this one since I was painting doll faces. It's kind of more of a pinkish red. And this is another one of mine You can't call yourself a horror artist if you don't have an arterial blood mix. So this is more of a bluish red. Ah, ooh, that needs a good shake. It is totally separated. I haven't used it in a little while. I guess it's a bit neglected. That's what the rag is for. There we go. Yeah. It's a really, really deep bluish red. So I think I want to do this one. And I use this one a lot for my little horror dolls. My little blockhead guys. These ones are really simple designs. They're more of a skeleton. But I do some that are like real gory zombies, so I use this one a lot for those. I think I want to do a big one in this color, because it'd be kind of fun to paint something, some kind of a horror design on it. So this is your color. This way. I'm learning. I'll get better at not covering my work with my hands as I go along, I think. Been watching a lot of art YouTubers lately and just trying to kind of get a feel for how they work on a camera. Because it's very different to how you would work if you're the only one looking at it. Do one of these little ones too. So I have a couple of little ones that I made with epoxy versus the air dry paper clay. Oh, I have pieces rolling away. Oh well. So you kind of see the color difference here. But the epoxy ones are nice and solid, and the paper clay, I don't know if I can show it here, but they're a little bit bendy, which, you know, is, I mean, it's amusing, it's funny. Some people like that. Some of my customers got really excited about bendy coffins. I don't know why, they just thought it was really funny. It was not an intentional decision, it just kind of happened that way. And unfortunately, when you add, well, maybe fortunately for them, but when you add the paint and then the sealer onto the paper clay, it just gets increasingly bendy. So you end up with a very flexible charm. Just gonna clear the hole here. Doesn't want to clear. May have to go in from the other side. There we go. Okay, that's why it wouldn't clear. Okay. Flip it back over. So the epoxy's a little harder to paint on. I think I probably, this would be better if I would have sanded it a little more to rough it up before I painted. Let go. Oh, my music disappeared. There we go. All See if the skull is dry. Get my hands totally clean. I don't want to touch it unless I know I'm not going to contaminate it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to grab my watercolor pencils. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very new to this, so, you know, I'm not really totally confident in what I'm doing, but I feel like I'm getting there. Alright, I'll move this. I'm going to sketch in just a light lavender. So, I'm going to do... little spider web. Right. So, there's that. I'm going to do kind of a scrolly thing on the sides here. Now I gotta figure out how to do this backwards. Oh no. No, that's right. Yeah, this way. Yeah, so I can clean that up a bit when I paint it. I'm not sure what to do in the middle there. I think I'll just do some little dots. Okay. Here's my liner brush. Put that in black and that. think. I think I can get away with just one coat of the black. So there is that so far. Some of the lines came out a little thicker than I wanted, but it's okay. I don't think it looks bad. It's just not quite what I was going for. And I want to do the little scrolly pieces in blue, I think. Oh. Yeah, this should work. Just a tiny little bit because I'm only going to do these little pieces here. I might actually get my other liner brush. I think I need the one with a little bit of a better grip. Just because these are such tight little curves. It's too much paint. There's one. Gross. It's okay. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't want it to be too perfect. It's kind of a whole thing that I do with my blockheads is that none of them are really totally perfect because they're handmade. So they are perfectly imperfect. Although that first one was a lot neater than this is turning out to be. I'm going to see if I can clean it up with a toothpick. Well, it's not that bad. I'm not going to mess with it actually, because I might ruin it. So that's what I got so far. And I'm going to do the same design on the other side, but I'm going to do it in white, but a non-glowing white, so that it will give the person wearing it the option to have the design out or have it be subtle and only show up when it glows. And I'm just going to use this to make the little dots. Okay, so there's that. Pretty simple, but it's just something a little more fun than I can do on the itty bitty size. So I'm going to set that aside to dry and get another coat on these. Ooh, that paint is not wanting to stick on the epoxy one. I might have to sand it and redo it. We'll set that aside. Yeah. That little spot is so annoying. I hope they give me a new camera, because it shouldn't be doing that already. Oh, hi, Zigzag. Just doing painting today. Just finished this piece. Oh, there we go. And the white is a UV reactive paint, so it'll glow under a black light with just the white will glow and the rest will be a resist. So that's going to be kind of fun to test out when that dries. And I'm painting some little coffin charms. And I got these little noses to paint for plush Zero dogs. That's Jack Skellington's little ghost dog. So I'm going to do those in a little bit. Just finishing up this coffin. in a nice bloody red. Trying to get better at doing this without my hands in the way. Yeah, lots of spooky painting today. That's most of what I do. It's kind of my style. There we go. Alright, I'll scooch this aside to let that dry. And just preventing any color contamination here. To get a dry rag too. I don't have anything to dry with. Okay, so I need my black, which is over here. And I thought since I was doing the little skeleton, or not skeleton, jack-o'-lantern faces on the zero noses, that maybe I would do one of those on the orange coffin. Or on one of the orange coffins, I should say, because I have the other one, and I'm going to try and put a little bat on the other one. And I need my liner brush again. And I actually have little pins to hold these. I gotta find the flat side. There's one bit that's just slightly flattened. There we go. And that's where I put the glue to glue them on to the zero dogs. Okay. Ellie. Yeah, it's Tiny Doll Land. This is basically all tiny painting today. I only do tiny painting like this maybe once a week at this point. I had surgery on a tendon in my hand in January of last year that didn't quite heal right. So I've been having really slow progress to get the dexterity back and being able to just use my hand normally. And this still is really hard on my hands, so I only allow myself to do it infrequently so that I don't end up with another repetitive stress injury. I want to avoid any further surgeries or issues with my hands. So I do a little bitty intricate painting like this a lot less frequently. And I only do it for a few hours. So I figured this was kind of a good thing to do on a stream because it keeps me from doing too much and hurting myself. Oh, this one's coming out a little messier than I like. Bummer. Yeah, let's not scooch my palette. It's not the neatest paint job I've ever done, but they're really, really tiny, so they're not all gonna turn out perfect. Oh, I didn't put a nose on that one. I might just end up having to use that for something else, because this is an example piece of a finished one. So it's a bit neater, and it's got the little nose. What I really want to figure out how to do is make a little stamp that I can do for the eyes and the nose, just a little triangle stamp or something, so that I can just stamp those on and only have to worry about painting the mouth, because the zeros are actually really good sellers for me. I usually have trouble keeping those in stock. It's a little floofy. I just want to get that off of there before I start painting. There we go. It is. It's honestly, it's pretty relaxing for me too. I thought it would be really stressful, but it kind of helps me to talk through my process as I work on things. And this way I feel a little less like I'm just talking to myself in a void, because I can have other people watch and ask questions. And I do like to talk about my weird art things. I don't have that many people to talk about them with. So this is a good way to get that out, so that every conversation I have in real life isn't dominated by all of my many weird art hobbies. I think what I want to do for the next one, because I asked on Reddit for some ideas for things I could do on these streams that people would find interesting, and somebody suggested doing projects that would kind of tie into the gaming side of Twitch. And since I've been learning needle felting, I kind of want to try and needle felt a little Among Us character, you know, the little spacemen, because they're a really nice, simple shape, and I feel like that's a shape I could manage without messing it up too much. Alright, that one came out a little better than the last one. That's much neater. I have a little foam square off camera that I'm just stabbing those into. That's sort of my drying rack for things that will roll. I put a little pin in the bottom, and then, or the top if it's going to be a jewelry piece and I have to put a, what do you call it, an eye pin in the top, I'll put the hole in the top. And that way I don't have to make an extra hole that I have to worry about covering up. Alright, so I'm going to try and do one of those little faces on the orange coffin, because I think that would be kind of fun. And I know non-spooky people watching this are probably going to be like, oh, why are you doing an orange coffin with a jack-o'-lantern face when it's April? But don't be fooled by the colorful hair and not black clothing, but I'm one of those people that is 100% Halloween all day, every day. I'll take that. Hot female alternative Bob Ross. Yep, I'm here for it. I did a Bob Ross cosplay for Halloween one year. That was really fun. I don't know if I ever showed you those pictures, Hallie. It was a very, very last minute costume. I got invited to vend a Halloween show for my work at the like really, really last minute. Like I had a couple of hours to organize everything and get ready and pack up my inventory and show up. So I literally just threw on an afro wig and a blue button-up shirt and jeans and grabbed a paintbrush and went as Bob Ross. And I didn't have any paints that I could pack up and bring, so instead of painting, I just drew people these sketches all night. And I think I still have some of them in my vending folder, just because they always make me chuckle. So that came out so freaking cute. Oh my god. I love that. Yeah, I'll have to show you the pictures later on Facebook, Hallie. It was it was crazy. I had Zombie painted a little beard on me. It was probably one of the better last minute costumes I've ever thrown together. Alright, I want to do a bat, but I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to grab my watercolor pencils really quick. And I feel like I'll do this better if I sketch it out first. Okay. Alright, and I know that just looks like nothing right now, but it's going to become a bat. I just need a good outline for where to put everything. So, give a little ear, a little ear. Okay, that's alright. It's not quite as successful as the little face, but I think it's recognizable as a bat. So, there's that. I'm gonna put one more coat on this guy. don't drop it. Okay, what do I want to do next? Let's see. So I had some that were very successful today. I did this piece. And I want to seal it really, really well before I start painting on the back side, but I'm going to do the same design on the back in white that doesn't glow under a black light, so that it'll be, you know, optional if you want to have bright and colorful or subtle and still get the same glowing design. And then I got these two finished, and I got a whole bunch that are just waiting to be sealed, and these are painted with my alien colors. So there's those, and there's these. And I don't know if it shows up, but this one has embedded glitter in it. So, and those were made with the same paints that I did these dolls with. Oh, that's showing up really well with the ring light. You can see her skin glittering real good. So, and then the eyes have my own little blend of what I call galaxy glitter. And then there's this one, and I did her hair on her too. She has this really giant bouffant beehive going on. And then the one that I still have to finish is the one that I'm keeping, so she needs her body painted. So I think I'm going to do that paint next. I was waiting to do any of them that have the metallic mica powders and glitter and stuff in them, because once that's in the water you can't do anything that isn't going to be glittery. Okay, yeah, that's this one. And it doesn't always mix just with shaking. This is one of my custom blended colors, and it's just kind of, it's a little harder to get mixed perfectly. But when it is, it's probably my favorite paint I've ever mixed so far. I need to get this goopy bit that's on the side here to come out, because that's going to contaminate all of it. I think that's all of it. Okay. Oh no. Fur. Cannot let the rabbit fur get into the paint. It's everywhere else in the house, but I have to at least keep that safe. Alright. Where's my... This is the one I want. Alright, I'm not going to put this one in my palette because I don't have as much left as I would like, and I'm not going to waste any of it. I don't think I can ever blend one as perfectly as I managed to make this again. I'm planning on doing a full-size doll with this same paint. I'm hoping I have enough to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get creative with how I use it. It gets a lot of bubbles after mixing, unfortunately. I think that's my fault from shaking it up before I stirred it. I bought all of these, like a 2,000 pack of these stir sticks, so that I wouldn't have to shake my paints. And I've been forgetting that I have them sitting next to me the whole time, and still shaking everything. I mean, there's nothing wrong with shaking the paint, it's just, it makes bubbles that you have to wait for the bubbles to all pop. So, if you're trying to do... I don't know if you can hear that, there's a helicopter that keeps going by today. I don't know why it has to do that today. It hasn't been around in ages. Now, today, because I decided to put myself on the internet, here comes the helicopter. Oof, this is why this one is staying with me, because she's got, I don't know if you can see it there. When I put the gesso on this one, it started peeling off. So, she's got some interesting textures going on there. It's kind of gross. I mean, it's going to be covered by the clothes, but I still know it's there. That's not one that I want to sell. But the other two are both in my shop. Or at least one of them is. I can't remember if I put the purple one up yet. I was going to, and then I was high on Benadryl for several days. Between the Benadryl and the lack of sleep, I didn't trust myself to do it properly. Alright, and these are painted with that same paint. I don't know if this is going to show up, because the ring light's kind of washing everything out. But, yeah, you can't really tell. Let me try... Where did I put the doll head? But this one doesn't have embedded glitter. What it does have is metallic paints mixed in that are made with mica powders. So when it catches the light, it has a pearl effect. And I did that on a couple of my little coffins. And I think I want to paint like a little diamond or something on there because it's got that cool effect on it. And I want to do a couple of more. Just because this really, I love this paint so much. I want to put it on everything, but I don't have enough. I should have mixed more than just one tiny little pot of it. But this is all I've got, and it's half empty. big one. I need to sculpt more of these too because I'm starting to run a little low. I might do that on another stream. I feel like that's another thing that would be good for a stream because it's a timed project to work with air dry clay. Can use that as a good timer to know when I'm done, when my clay starts drying up. My little liners to get in here. Let those dry for a bit. Let's just partially close that so it doesn't dry. I'll check this one. So I need to do just touch up a few spots on these. These are probably the most relaxing thing to paint because I don't even have to worry about brush strokes or fingerprints because I seal them with layers of this super shiny gloss varnish so that they look like glass, and that masks everything. So glassy varnish hides lots of sins. Alright, I think these are dry enough to do the back sides. Get in. I keep forgetting to hold this so that it shows up on camera. Put another layer on her. Gotta move the arms around to make sure they don't get painted in place. This paint just doesn't want to cooperate today. It's one of the unfortunate downsides to blending your own paint is it doesn't always behave predictably. Let me try adding a little extra water. Alright, I think I'm going to put one more coat on these because they're a little streaky. this for just a minute. Okay, do the back sides. Oops. Oh, I didn't take paint off. Okay. This mat is like the greatest thing ever. It's silicone and it sticks to the table. And you just wipe it clean. I got it to use with my clays, and then I just had the idea to try it as I was painting. And it's really nice because now I don't have to worry about, you know, having paint that spills or touches the table or any of that. And because it's silicone, the paint doesn't stick to it, so it's good to use as a little drying rack. And when I was doing the doll with the yarn hair, I made all of the glue wefts for the yarn hair by just sticking the glue to my little mat, and then I could just peel them off as soon as it was dry. I got 2 of them. I had them on my Amazon wish list. I got them, I think, for Christmas. Either last year or the year before, I can't remember. And I want to say it was like $10 for the pair of them. And this is probably the most useful thing that I own now, is these little mats. Oh no. This water is a little too orange from all of the red paint. It was drying my paint in a weird orange color. Get those little bubbles out. I really need her to go this way. There we go. To get in the arm. It's really hard trying to paint a doll on a stream. There's a lot of really awkward angles to get into. There's bunny fur. I think since my water looks like that, that's probably my cue to wrap this one up and get my little area here all cleaned up. So thanks for watching. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to be doing needle felting. I'm going to try an Among Us character. I might try and do another bunny. I don't know. We'll see. I might put a poll up somewhere to see what other people would want to watch me make. But yeah, I'll probably be doing needle felting. And then after that, I want to do a sculpting one probably the week after. And I do want to start trying to do the gaming ones soon, because I know people have mentioned wanting to watch me scare myself with scary games. So hopefully soon. I think my schedule says Thursdays for those, so we'll see if I feel like it this Thursday, and if not, next Thursday. And I'm gonna have to get a new camera because this spot is gonna drive me absolutely insane seeing that in every video. Hopefully they'll replace it for me, and if not, I'm gonna be shopping for another inexpensive camera. Yeah, so that's it for today. Alright, thanks for watching. Yeah, you didn't see it yet, but I see it. And if I edit these to put them on YouTube, I'm going to be staring at it for a long time, so. Alright. Yeah, so that's it. Bye, guys.